Okay, we ready? Opening statement. Well, hell of a ball game for us. You know, when you get into the regional, this is the game that you have to have to kind of take control. Doesn't mean that you're there yet, but we put ourselves in position tomorrow, a good position. And I thought today we, Thule threw a hell of a ball game, and then I really thought offensively we didn't do a lot of. There wasn't a lot of great things, but man, we were on base. We left 12 runners on base. We had a lot of opportunities. We were one key hit away from really blowing it open. But I go back to the innings that we did score to give ourselves some room. That was all done with 2 outs. And I think, one of the great traits of good teams is as long as you have an out, you have a chance. And we had some really good at-bats with 2 outs coming up, especially Hillary pinch hitting, sliding at first to get on base. That kind of opened things up. Mandie had a tough at-bat. Finally, Slaps gets on base, and then Kati again today was seeing the ball well and really had some good at-bats and drove in some runs for us. So it's a good performance.
Danielle, what was working for you today?
Change up. Yeah, it looked good.
Were you aware that you had a no-hitter going into the last inning there?
Yes.
Is it hard not to think about that when that's going on?
No. You just go do your job, and it kind of doesn't matter if anything happens to affect that. You just go do your job.
What's the luxury of having someone like Candrea? Any swing could get you a lead, could get you a run at some point.
Well, it's not just Kati too. It's we have quite a few kids in this group that can do that. But when Kati's hot and she's seeing the ball well and hitting the ball where it's pitched, she's a weapon, And obviously, any swing she takes, a ball can leave the ballpark. But I thought today, Deja hit one that I thought was going out. That would have been a 3-run bomb. Would have been kind of nice, So we were just very close. But the thing I like right now is we're scoring a ton of runs with not just a home run. If you look at the bottom of our order right now, they've been very productive, and to me, I think that's huge for us. Because I know one thing about postseason is that the short game will always be there. Speed in the short game will always be there. The hitting sometimes comes and goes, especially with great pitching. Great pitching will most of the time take care of great hitting. But the short game, when we can manufacture runs, which I think we can, then, if I go back to history and the championships that we won, they were because of not so much our bombers, but the short gamers that could get on base and make things happen.
Is sliding in the first a good play?
It was today. I surely won't argue that. It's probably slower to slide than it is to run through the bag. It's been proven, but sometimes it looks good. Good effort.
Mandie, how much of a boost does it give you guys when Danielle's dealing like she was today?
I think it just makes us a little bit more calm at the plate, especially because we know that she's doing her job. If we're not coming through right away like we did today, we know that she's going to hold us down in the circle. And I think we have her back too. We made some pretty good plays today. Ashley and Wright making 2 great throws, and making some great catches. I think it was just, we just build off of her calmness more than anything.
I know Conti doesn't like talking about the records that she's chasing and all that, but she's a Pac-12 home run leader. As her teammate, what's it like seeing her do that, and just kind of be so business-like and not even worry about it?
Well, because of how nonchalant she is about it, I think it's kind of hard to remember. But then when we hear it over the intercom, we're like, no way. But, I mean, it's just phenomenal to see how calm she can be with these great stats. And to be honest, we're just trying to help her out to get even better stats. We're just trying to get on base so she could double those stats, triple those stats. So, but we don't have that really in mind because we're just taking it one at-bat at a time. So.
Correct me if I'm wrong, about 3 weeks ago you talked about her, Candrea, becoming a better hitter, just be more patient or whatever. Could you reflect on that again?
Yeah, well, she just kind of found, she just looked more comfortable. So she kind of found a stance that she really liked. If you notice, her bat's on her shoulder a little bit, closer to her. I just thought she got more efficient. And then when she's hitting pitches where the ball's pitched, instead of trying to force things, she's a great hitter, So I think she kind of simplified things, and it's worked for her.
Along those lines, I was with you in Australia
yeah.
at the Olympics. There was a girl Bustos.
Yeah.
You have the same kind of luxury. I'm not comparing her to her.
Yeah.
But the possibility of any of that could be involved. Is there a similarity there?
Yeah, I mean it's she's got really fast gears, you know, and there's not a lot of kids that, I mean, you're born with that. Great hand speed, but she's able to really be able to connect her upper body and lower body more than not. So she generates a lot of bat speed and a lot of club head speed and can hit the ball with, you know, long ways. But the key is in our game, you can have that, but if you can't put it together in a game when the ball's moving, it doesn't do you any good. And, you know, Bustos is one of those kids that could do it. Kati's one of those kids that can do it. I've seen numerous, you know, that can do it. But it's fun to watch, by all means.
Are you surprised sometimes that teams pitch to her when there's nobody on base?
I thought, well, sometimes.
Yeah.
You talked last night about Eva needing to slow the game down.
She did.
Did you see that today?
Yeah, you know, I'm really happy with where she's at right now. She's come in and she's been productive for us. Today she was, you know, 1 for 2. Last night she was 1 for 2. You know, she's hitting 500. I mean, you can't argue that. But the thing with her is if she can stay slow and eliminate the strikeouts and put the ball in play with her speed, anything can happen. And it really is a weapon when we can get her on base. You know, I think another great thing today with Thule was just her ability to go through the lineup and not really utilize her off-speed pitch, and then all of a sudden the second time around, that became a weapon. You know, and I think those are little things in postseason that you have to be able to do. And if you got the luxury to be able to hold a pitch back for the second or third time through a lineup, it's pretty beneficial. And I always go back to the Taryn Mowat days of, you know, the thing that really was key for her that day was the off-speed pitch. But good performance and looking forward to tomorrow.
All good?
All right.